In this episode, we're going to be going over the Rook pawn. In most endgames, when your opponent has a Rook pawn, these are synonymous with draws. They're really easy to draw for black, as long as you're able to get your king over to the A8 square, or the B8 square, or somewhere in this area. The presence of Rook pawns gives the defending side drawing chances that normally would not exist. The reason for this resides in the diminished activity of the king that steps in front of such a pawn. Since that king can now only move towards the center of the board, not being able to go to the opposite side. In this position here, white to move would win if he possessed any other pawn but a Rook pawn. However, the fact that this is an H pawn ensures an easy draw. So, pawn to H7. Normally, black would be forced to step to the other side of the pawn, forcing the king to be able to step forward. What that means is, if we shift this over here, and we had a position like this, if he was to push this to B7, I would be forced to move over here because I'm not able to go to either of these squares, which then allows my king to come up to the C7 square and to promote. But because this is an A pawn, I am not able to go to either one of these squares. That's instant stalemate. Okay? Another thing to keep in mind, let's go ahead and bring this over and I will demonstrate how it would look on this side if we're one file over to the left. So we would go to this B7 square, the king would be forced to come over to A7, king to C7, and then this pawn's promoting. That turns into a queen. We're going to sum up real quick with this part 2 endgames for Class D players, which is that 1,000 to 1199, is to remember that 2 knights versus a lone king is a draw. Since the vast majority of blunder mates in this endgame occur in the corners, make sure you dance away from them as whenever you're possible to be completely safe. Your queen and your bishop, no pawns for either side, or queen versus knight with no other pawns for either side, is easily winning for the queen side. The king is a strong piece and must be used in the endgame. The opposition is extremely important in that wants the king to become stronger than the other. And Rook pawns added to the defender's drawing chances in most endgames. So the rule of thumb for Rook pawns is if there's a Rook pawn on the board, it's probably going to be a draw unless your opponent doesn't know what they're doing. In the next section, we're going to go over part 3 endgames for Class D players, which is the 1200 to 1399 from Silman's endgame course. And we will get that momentarily.